WICCI Haryana Sports and Recreation Council, a very warm welcome to none other than Dr. Meenakshi Pahuja, our esteemed guest today, who herself is a living legend. Welcome, ma'am, on behalf of the entire council.
Thank you so much for such a warm welcome.
I would like to now request our lead council member, Ms. Juhi Gupta, to please take over and introduce our honorable guests. Juhi, please.
Thank you, Anshu. I don't think being an athlete is unfeminine. I think of it as a kind of grace. Yes, this is a fact written on stone for our esteemed and honorable guest, Dr. Meenakshi Pahuja ma'am. She is an international medalist swimmer, won her first medal for the country in 10th Asia Pacific Age Group Championship held at Busan 1996, where she won a bronze medal in 400 meters individual relay. She is a national medalist swimmer for a whopping 11 years. She is a 3-time Limca book record holder in 2013, 2016, and 2018. She was awarded the highest civilian honor to Indian women, the Nari Shakti Puraskar, by the President of India in 2018. She is the Assistant Professor of Physical Education with Lady Shri Ram College for Women, University of Delhi since last 18 years. I can go on and on with Meenakshi ma'am's achievements, and the whole day will not be enough. So we will move on with the session, and I would now hand over to Ms. Sushma, who is also the Vice President of the State Council.
Thank you so much, Juhi. Good morning, good afternoon, Meenakshi ma'am. And it's really an honor for all of us to be here in the presence of the Jalpari, Dr. Meenakshi Pahuja. And before we move ahead, we would like to introduce our State President, Anshu Tarawat, who is an international athlete in kettlebell sports, having won many accolades for the country. She also trains enthusiastic women in the sport, me being one of the women who train with her. Now she will moderate this wiki moment today. Over to Anshu.
Thank you so much. So before I proceed ahead, I would request another lead council member, Shalini Vashne, to please go ahead and share the insights of the message being given by WICCI Global President, Dr. Harbeen Arora. And also we have a small snippet of none other than, again, our Jalpari to be shared in the form of a small video. Shalini, please take over. Thank you.
Thank you, Anshu. Indeed, it's a great honor and privilege to welcome Dr. Meenakshi Pahuja once again. Now, I would like to play a short video from our WICCI All India President, Dr. Harbeen Arora.
Hello, dear soul sisters at the Haryana Sports and Recreation Council of the Women Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I want to congratulate you. Actually, I keep following your amazing work, and you are making us all discover so many amazing women sportswomen from all different sports, and I'm so excited to learn about our soul sister Meenakshi. You know, we need to really visibilize our role models. There's so much talent in India, and all of us and our young women need to see, meet, hear these amazing role models who are amidst us, inspiring us to take that step forward, that leap forward into the outdoors, into the public space, which starts with our being comfortable with the sports, with our bodies, with achieving in the competitive sports. So it's so important what you're doing. You have given me an interest in sports at my age, so it's amazing really what you're doing. More power to you, sisters. I'd love to see this happen at an all India level. Haryana is the state, is the go-to state for sports, so more power to you. Thank you all. Thank you the council members and our eminent guest today. Congratulations.
Now, here is a small video presenting Dr. Meenakshi Pahuja.
Thank you.
Meenakshi Pahuja. I've come from India and I'm 29 years old. I'm working as a lecturer in physical education. If I have to describe my job, it's more on administrative, organization, managing teams, and different sports. It's not just swimming, it's like 14, 15 different disciplines of sports. It was very difficult to train with a regular job, which is like 8 hours regular job. But the water pulled me back, and it was limited to the pool training as in Delhi, in India. There are no rivers, no coastal area. So all limited to a 50-meter Olympic-sized swimming pool. In fact, an 18 meters long swimming pool, and just rounds and rounds and rounds. And training sessions were like 3 hours continuous swimming, weekends 5 to 6 hours continuous swimming, just trying to cope up with the job. A bit of land conditioning and a bit of weight training. And for diet, definitely I was taking more on carbohydrates and more on the nutrition side, yeah. If I have to describe swimming, swimming is passion for me. I've been a competitive swimmer of my time and left swimming, started working as a lecturer in physical education, and I head the physical education department of India's prestigious college. Always wanted to come to Zurich and participate, but the rules were there that you ought to have a 15 kilometers qualifying standards and this and that. It was just last year I went for a river competition in India and I was successful in completing 19 kilometers race. And that gave me the confidence to attempt this, and that's why I'm here, and it's a lovely place to be. I just want to complete this race, and I'm sure it will be a good experience.
So you prayed for me?
Yes. Tell me how you're feeling this morning.
Very good, great. Sun is up, so more confidence.
India, fantastic. That's Pahuja Meenakshi from New Delhi, Lady Shri Ram College.
Well, it was a little tough, but I managed. I'm glad.
Is it the longest distance you have ever done?
Yeah, the longest in my life. I've never done it that long, ever. And when I go back India, I'm trying to, I'm just going to try to spread a word around what kind of an experience it was. And let's hope a lot of people from my country come and participate. That's what I can say at the moment.
Now, we would like to request Meenakshi ma'am to say a few words. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. First and foremost, I would really like to extend my gratitude to all you wonderful women, Anshu, Shalini, the president. Thank you for those kind words. You're doing an amazing work of bringing, women together from all over the globe. It's really a demanding and a very, hard task to get everybody together to join a movement. So I'm very grateful for making me a part of this initiative, and I compliment the work that you all have been doing in silence. I only got to know very recently, but it's a great idea. Like the president said, yes, the sisterhood is very important. At difficult times, the hand-holding makes a lot of difference. So thank you for making me a part, and I'm really excited and happy to be with all of you. Hope to support your endeavor whenever required.
We're really honored, ma'am. And I got tears in my eyes looking at that video because every time the Indian flag is up, it's a matter of pride for all of us. So thank you for making all of us proud. May I please now request you to say a few words to the council members before we open the council for some questions, ma'am. Honored would be.
Anshu, this feeling was the same. You know, this video is very close to my heart. This was my first international comeback. And nothing to hide. If you heard me talking in the video, I said I'm 29 years old. So you can understand what it is for an Indian woman to make a comeback at the age of 29. That too, something which is very unconventional, you know. Not women will get into open waters at that age where, you know, your family is just pushing you to settle down and you have a good job. And it's been a real tough journey. I was country's top swimmer, had to give up my international swimming career. Once, you know, you were reading out about me and you said that I won the medal for country in 1996. Just think about it. As a college second year student, when you're top of your career and standing next is to give up your career, start working because you have limited resources and life takes on its own challenge and, you know, its own course. But as a kid, you always wanted to go ahead and, you know, swim those wonderful open water bodies. The adventure was always the thing that I wanted to go ahead. But once you know, start growing up, you realize the economics behind the adventure, and you have to earn it your way. So I had to go through a lot, but God has been very kind, and my family supported, and I'm right there talking about these stories and my experiences with all of you.
Indeed, very inspiring, and I completely relate to every word that you say. Being an athlete today and playing for the country and also training athletes and then managing so other responsibilities, I think that would be the prominent question of the council members today. You know, managing so many things today together is one thing that is all of us are struggling. You know, it's just not professionally, I would say, the home front, the responsibilities of a mother or a homemaker, anything. So I think that's a common question. But before we get into a general notion, I would request Rashi, are you there? If you could please share your question or anything that you have.
Yes, yes. Ma'am, my question to you, first of all, good afternoon so very much, ma'am.
Hi, Rashi. Good afternoon.
Yes, my question is, ma'am, like how can we get a required support and advice for women who want to pursue their career or, you know, in sports?
See, Rashi, if I have to be very honest, let's be very honest. I've been working in LSR now 18 years. And what I have seen, the dropout rate, if I have to talk about women in sports and, you know, larger perspective, you know, there is a lot of need that women are sustained in sport. You know, it should not be a kind of pressure that, oh, she's getting married, her sporting career is over. You know, oh, she's expecting or she is going to conceive or she's a mother, her sporting career is over. All these notions have to change. And when we talk about these, you know, issues, that there should be an equal status for women to continue. Men can continue, you know, for a longer stage. But why all these stereotypes are there for women that which forces her to give up her, you know, sporting career early? Or probably, you know, well before time, she's forced to give up. Somewhere the society pressure is there or whatever. I somehow feel all these things really need to change in society so a girl child can go ahead and pursue. And we are talking about getting into sports, you know, it should be an equal opportunity somewhere when parents are, you know, spending so much on the education. spot the talent of your child. If your girl child is talented in a sport or she likes to play, nurture her, give her that equal opportunity to go and excel and pursue her dreams. Not that, okay, you're playing till before your puberty, and once you achieve puberty, you're forced to withdraw from sports. That's how the general notions are. I think that's somewhere the mindset has to change. Let her take on her journey, and if she's very good in a particular thing or sport, let her pursue. And the good sources of information for parents who are listening to me, or the mothers who have their daughters, whoever is listening to me, I would say that please go to Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports website and see all the initiatives. And something which has really changed from my time of Swimming for India, is the cash incentives, the opportunities now the athletes get, which was missing from my time, I would say that. And not only the central government's initiative, but every state is trying to promote sports in their own ways. Like if I have to talk about Delhi or Haryana, which gives so many incentives, cash incentives, if you're even winning at a state level, forget national or international. So there is a way of pushing, and they all are coming up with policies to promote more and more women in sports. But somewhere, I think what needs to be checked is the dropout rate. So women can sustain for a long time and stay. And once even, I would say, women retire from the sporting career, they can, come back, be coaches or technical officials, or get into sports management and be associated with the passion or the sport they love the most. I would say that. So somewhere
Thank you
that
so much, ma'am.
information, yeah,
Yeah, thank
somewhere
you so
I
much.
think, yeah, somewhere that information flow is very important. Yeah, I guess a platform like these will bring a lot of awareness to people about sports, and they'll get to know about different opportunities what a girl child can actually get.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
so much.
Meenakshi ma'am. And I completely agree with one fact, definitely being a mother, that as parents, if we see the child has an interest in a sport, let's support. Let's support them
Yes.
from now. And then every step forward to keep on supporting them. It could be any sport. And WICCI Sports Council definitely has on board various sports. We are not sticking on to just one sport, because every athlete is different. I'm sure ma'am would agree with this. Everybody has a different caliber. Being a mother, when I can lift kettlebells proudly, I can make sure all the mothers out there can definitely do that. So thank you, ma'am. It really gives us a lot of motivation as mothers also. Moving on to the next question. May I have Janvi, please? Janvi, a question to ma'am, please.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Hi, Janvi. Good afternoon.
Hello. I'm Janvi Maurya. I'm the social media manager for the Future You. And the idea of sponsorships really intrigued me. So my question is, how important are these sponsorships brands for athletes?
Well, Janvi, I would say with the, when you're doing something as an amateur, you're doing for fun, you're doing for recreation, it's different, right? Or you're doing for fitness. But once you are a professional athlete, you need that support to, go ahead. So somewhere, it's very important. And the long journey of sustaining a sporting career, you can't do it without, resources. I would say if I would have got, let's say, sponsorship very early, I would have not done all these marathon swims in my late 20s or early 30s. I would have gone in my teens, right? So somewhere, because it's so much of investment in sports. Let's say, if I have to give you an example, the current athletes who are training for the upcoming Tokyo Olympics, common people don't know the kind of investment the government of India is doing. So far, 70 Indians have qualified for the upcoming Tokyo Olympics. So can you imagine the top scheme. Nearly a figure of 3 crore rupees per athlete is being invested, something like that. It's a huge amount. And if there is no support from the government, you can imagine there is no option left for an athlete other than giving up the sporting career, right? And yeah, to sustain, I think very important. And athletes need to be celebrated after all. They are also celebrities in their own ways. So somewhere this entire branding and sponsorship very important. And the good thing is earlier the CSR initiative was not exempted and sports was not there in that list. But last 5 years, things have changed drastically when sports has come under the corporate social responsibility list. And a lot of corporates are coming forward to actually take up sports and sponsor athletes and support them. Well, I would use this platform to urge all the business houses to come up and support.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. That really answers my question.
So yes, and even it gives ray of hope to a lot of athletes here on the same platform that we are embarking the right path for us. Right, Meenakshi ma'am? I'm sure you would agree. It definitely has pains and efforts at the start of your athlete career, but have faith. It's going to take us a long way. And that's our promise to you on this platform. Thank you, Meenakshi ma'am, for this insight again. Moving on to the next question, can I have Anshu Maurya, please?
Very good afternoon, ma'am. I am Anshu Maurya and I am also a member of Future You. So being a mother, being in my late 30s, so my question is, what do you think is the biggest barrier, which is driving the visibility of women's sport in India?
Well, I said initially, Anshu, if you heard me, there's so many stereotyping, there's so many, things that try to hold women back and put all those pressures, which are undue pressures of society. Treat a woman equally, treat a girl child equally, let her take her own journey. She wants to excel, go ahead, let her continue. She's not denying the roles she play other than being a sportswoman. If I have to talk about it, I may be a great swimmer, but I'm a sister. I've lost my parents though, but I was a very dedicated daughter. So everybody knows their responsibilities, but there is no requirement of building unnecessarily pressure on a woman. And these phases of life, okay, in teens you should do this, in 20s you should do this, in 30s do this, in your 40s do this, and everything is just put in place for a woman. And I don't think it is a good thing to do. Let her be free, let her decide her journey, and let her go ahead. Why treat her differently? I would only appeal, treat her equal and let her take her course. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sorry.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I, truly agree with you. Like, we should spread our wings being a woman, and we should do whatever the opportunities we get as a woman, not being, like he's a boy or she's a girl. So it really answers my question. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anshu.
One life, let her live. Why create barriers? Let her fly high. Yeah.
So we have a lot of members again within the council. Meenakshi ma'am, I would want to share. Since this time I started my lifting for kettlebell sport, I think I would say I've inspired many members who are around right now with us. And there are few who want to lift. And I think, I don't want to name anybody, but this message is wide and clear. Females, lift. If you want to lift, do it now. Today is the time. Let's do it. The support you need, we will find a way out. But don't give up on your dreams in the names of responsibilities, families, kids, pressure. We all have the same thing. Let's fight it out. So thank you, Meenakshi ma'am. It's, I feel so overwhelmed. Every question that is coming my way in all these years that I've been lifting kettlebells for the country. And members come up. If I want to train how will I manage my things? So this possibly is the best answer that I could give them, that you need to find out ways. The mindset of people has to change. And when I say people, I'm talking about the proximity of my close family. I'm talking about my husband. I'm talking about my family members. If I have a daughter, the responsibility is equal for everybody to share. I'm sure, Meenakshi ma'am, you would agree. When I train, when I play the sport, when I travel, everything's been taken care of because I believe everybody needs to live up their dream. So a quick one, Meenakshi ma'am, from my side. Do you really feel that COVID has led to a change in the choice of sports for athletes like us?
Well, I would say, unfortunately, during this last 10 months of pandemic, if we just go through, I would say it's given a big jump to all the esports, and people have really spent a lot of time on getting onto gaming and exploring esports and getting all to all, stuff. But as soon as the stadia started reopening, the first and foremost the parks opened in the country. Then after a lot of struggle, the gyms opened sometime October. And finally, you asked me, now the swimming pools have opened.
Yes.
So everyone somewhere has been waiting to return to so-called new normal. And the traditional sports and the Olympic sports and all, they are all now gearing up to get back into competition in the sporting events. It's going to take a little time to revive the entire industry because it's hit it really hard. People lost their jobs, and it was a very tough time, not only for our country but the entire globe. We are all in it together, so you know it.
Yeah. Can I have Shweta, please, there? Shweta, I think you have a question. I just saw the chat. I think she's left a question for us, ma'am. Do you mind if I read that out to you?
Yes, please.
She's saying, ma'am, do you think striving for perfection in everything is impediment? Should we be okay with tiny steps and successes for us?
Sorry. Should we?
I'll just read that back to you. Yeah, I'll read that back to you. She's asking, ma'am, do you think striving for perfection in everything is impediment? Is it really important for us, or should we just be okay with tiny steps and successes coming our way?
Well, I would say don't build that pressure on you to be perfect in everything. Nobody is perfect. I would say it is somewhere just improving upon your own self. Don't somewhere I would really urge not to compare yourself with others all the time. Be yourself. You're a unique creation of God, I would say that. And everybody should identify what is the potential in you. You maybe I'm a good swimmer, like you were talking about the kettlebell, and somebody is good in the gym, somebody is doing something else, or whatever. I'm just saying, identify what is good in you, work on it, and pursue it. It's not something that today you want to be this, tomorrow. No. Be consistent in your approach. What really works is consistency in life, I would say. If you are determined and consistent in your approach, you'll be right there. Anything you can turn around and, but be very sure that you are consistent in your approach. Yeah. And don't come under any pressure, somewhere. Yeah, it's hard, it's difficult, but as you said, Anshu, don't give up in life. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am. Any further questions by any member? May I please, please unmute yourself and ask the question.
Ma'am, first of all, I would just like to say that, your video was so thrilling, and I'm sure, with your long journey, it would have been really nostalgic to see it the same with so many women around. I have a question. Since you've been in on the administrative side also, you associated with school in the LSR for the last 18 years, as you mentioned. I just want to ask one thing, that how has the administrative mindset changed in our country as far as the women disciplines are concerned?
That's
Have you, like in past so many years, have you seen any changes in the approach that they take towards women disciplines?
Well, I would say, you know, if I have to talk at the larger perspective of women in sports, because I work at several platforms when it comes to women in sports. You know, I would certainly say things are changing, but the pace is very slow. You know, somewhere, let's say, women are getting more opportunities. They are getting the platforms to come forward and explore and excel. But one cannot rule out, you know, that indirect discrimination, which is still there. And I think, again, strong policies have to come up that a woman is treated equally, be it a national camp. Let's say if it's a feeding mother, there are no provisions in our country that a feeding mother can keep her child with her and train for her upcoming international tournaments wherever she's representing the country, right? So that's something. And again, you know, this all sports teams that travel all over the world, we don't see a gynecologist, you know, traveling with an Indian contingent. So that's something I think needs to be very inclusive. You know, you go to the stadiums, menstruation is a monthly thing which is happening to a woman, and it's very natural. You don't see the stadiums being equipped with us, you know, in our country with something as common as a sanitary pad even. And there's so much of awareness, so much of issues to be discussed, and changes have to come. And somewhere that counseling to the parents and information flow, let your daughter continue sport till whenever she wants to call it a quit, leave it to her. So a lot of things have to change, but yes, I'm happy at least the cash incentives are by the government of India are equal. There are certain special policies which have come up over the years to promote Indian women in sports. So things are changing. And lastly, when it comes to the governance of sports, when you just mentioned, you know, if I have to give you a one quick example, if we talk about the highest apex body of sports, the IOC, International Olympic Committee, you know, over there, 33% of women are in a position of governance of sports over there. Wow. But when we look at our country, India, the highest apex body is IOA, the Indian Olympic Association. And what you see there are only 2 elected women in the Indian Olympic Association. So let's hope more and more women get involved in the governance of sports. The positive thing, again, I would like to highlight is earlier in the sports federations in our country, there were, you know, no redressal mechanism for a woman. There were no sexual harassment committees, but in last 5-10 years, we've seen all the national sport federations have come up with these harassment committees, which is again a very positive sign that there are, you know, platforms, forums where a voice of a woman is getting strengthened. There are mechanisms to support her and see that she's not been exploited. So let's hope so. There are more and more such initiatives, and forums like these, I'm sure, will make a lot of difference too.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We will definitely take the hope forward.
Thank you. So, Meenakshi ma'am, if I can excuse a second and welcome Mr. Dev Balhara, CEO, Kettlebell Sport India Association. Dev sir, can we please have you?
Hello everyone. Hello ma'am. How are you?
Good afternoon, sir.
Very well, Dave. How are you, Dave?
All well, ma'am. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us today.
No, it's a great platform. And thank you for introducing me to all, you know, all these wonderful women who've been doing
My
so
pleasure,
much
ma'am.
work
My
in
pleasure.
silence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am. Any further questions, or may I please request the final note from ma'am for us? Any further questions? You may please unmute and ask. Anybody? Okay. Ma'am, any last message for the council members of WICCI sports team?
Well, I would just like to express my gratitude to all of you and would urge to continue this fabulous work that you've been doing. You know, women coming together will make a lot of difference, as very rightly the lines of your president, the sisterhood is very, very, very important. Let's hope so. We all stay together in this journey and make an impact in society.
Thank you, Meenakshi ma'am. May I please request everybody to unmute and a big round of applause for Meenakshi ma'am to be there and give her great expertise. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for being there. We are honored and we promise to take sports under guidance to the next level. We look forward to see you soon. Thank you, Meenakshi ma'am. Thank you, all the respected council members.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being there. Thank you, Dev sir, for joining us. And of course, giving us this platform to come together and meet Meenakshi ma'am. Thank you, Dev sir. Thank you so much. We look forward to see you all soon again. Meenakshi ma'am, full gratitude and a bow to you. Thank you for being there. Thank you.
Keep up your good work. I would really say that, and felt really nice, you know, because often we don't discuss women in sports and we just let it go. So I'm very happy that a platform like this is created.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your help and guidance, ma'am. We look forward.